freaking go. Hello there, everybody. The name is Limberler Jr., and I am here with a duo that I think kind of needs no introduction, but you know what? I will do it anyway. We have here Mr. Rico Caruso and Miss Michelle Staffieri, and together they are Rico as Rico and Mielia. But I was gonna say, you know. Let me say it again. Michelle Staffieri, such a beautiful name. We just gotta take the M-I, we gotta maybe take an E from L, take 2 L's from there, and take the A from Staffieri, and what do you got? Rico and Mielia, who I just want to just tell it right here and now, happy early 10-year anniversary.
Sweet.
Because, oh my gosh, yes, they are almost gonna be December 20th, 2023 is going to be their 10-year anniversary. How do I know that? Because, well, their freaking song that was, I think, the first introduction song, acoustic song, I believe, Shadows, from Trice Records, that was, like, the first, like, release from Rico Mielia?
Yeah, that was the first...
Official.
That was the first official one.
The first song that we actually released, it was just like featuring Mielia, which was with Kid Massive and what was it? Stadium X? No, it wasn't Stadium X. Oh my god. Alex says.
But that wasn't
Kid
Rico
Massive,
Mielia. That was just...
and it was called Strong, but it was on Revealed. And it like was before Rico and Mielia became Rico and Mielia.
Really?
It
so
was like
so it kind of all started in Revealed.
Yeah.
Really? Because I was thinking it was starting in either Protocol or Armada TV, but
we've been on all of those, so we kind of like.
Yeah, it's technically it's like that was the first one, but like it was before we decided to call ourselves one thing because we wrote that one together, and then we kind of realized like, oh, we should do them together with both of our names and sing on both of them. And
that is absolutely amazing to hear, and ever since, you know, you had your start in Revealed, and also, like, you know, moving on to Protocol and Armada, it just started, like, blowing up from there. I mean, we had We Are Lost, we had From Protocol Get Back, of course, we had remixes here and there for, like, you know, We Are Lost and Worth Fighting For, which I believe was the first album you guys kind of did for Rico and Mielia?
So I don't think...
I say album because it's literally labeled as album on Spotify, but here's the thing, Spotify can be kind of a... They don't know what they're doing sometimes.
They don't know what they're doing. No, so that one was a single, it was like, but it was a self-release, and so that was one of, I think that was our first self-release, actually, right? That was our first self-release. So that might be why that one's an album.
Yeah, we've done a lot.
Because it was a lot with labels. Well, most of them were labels and labeled as singles and stuff. That one is still a single.
It's still a single.
It's still a single. You have to do an album.
You might want to fix that. You might want to fix that bad. But as time went on, it's like, well, let me ask this though. I mean, Rico and Mielia, it didn't just start this out of the blue. How did this like truly begin for you guys?
So, do you want to start it off?
Sure, I love telling the story. So we were friends in high school. Both went off to college, did our thing, and we were both still doing music later in like our early 20s. So then we reconnected, and then he got into producing, and we were both stemming from like singer-songwriter, indie backgrounds, and then we kind of reconnected after college, and then we started doing some songs together. And then that led to collabs and writing for other producers, and then we kind of made a little bit of a splash in the EDM industry.
Yeah, and we started trying to like, just pursue it as artists instead of doing it like writing for other people.
Right.
Or, you know, I had my own solo project, and that's where we ended up together.
Yeah.
Understood.
And
I mean,
Rico and Mielia just became a thing, and then now we've done collabs, but also have done like a lot of solo music, and we're just
figuring things out,
shifting,
and also just I have to say it. Congratulations on you guys finally tying the knot together.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are absolutely freaking beautiful, and I know that. I mean, the sparks are flying, the fireworks are going. I mean, it was like the honeymooners all over again. So I had to say congratulations for that. And it was and I feel like I was gonna say something like what corny, like no, the duo that sings together stays together, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but maybe, right?
I mean, but I was gonna ask. I was just gonna ask. I mean, is it true, Rico, you were just like starting to sing? Because I feel like we haven't really been hearing more of your voice ever since Open Road.
So, no, I've been singing since like high school, later than you, but not so late. So I'm on some of the earlier releases, and I like to write a lot. I don't always like to sing. I don't think it's my strongest point as a musician, so I tend to...
Everybody else thinks it's a strong
Yeah, I beg
He's
to
shy.
differ. I beg to
He's
differ
shy.
because you killed it in Open Road, so I'm sorry. And every day, I mean, I'm sorry.
And he
like,
wrote those completely by himself and like just sat down at the piano, wrote this beautiful song, like no help, no collab on that,
right.
like start to finish, lyricist, melodically, singing, just
Well, Sam did the chords on that, on Open
yes,
Road,
but I'm saying like lyrically, melodically, singing, like that was Rico. And then obviously when you become in a collab, then you have other people with musically, you collaborate together. But like, I remember you sitting down at the piano and just like singing something.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
hey, I wrote something nice today, and I was like blown away. He's totally a lyricist.
A lyricist, but again, like I'd say just like keep on going with the singing as well. Like you have someone incredible here who can maybe help like with the ropes here and there, but dude, don't silence yourself.
Oh,
yeah,
thank
you write such incredible words, yes, but do not silence yourself because you are that incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Never ever forget that you have a gift.
Oh,
Use it.
thank
We
you
all
much.
see the gifts in you. And tonight is the night we're finally going to really cherish this. I mean, this is Webster Hall, a legendary venue that you guys have played already before in the Midas tour for Born.
Yes.
Was that the first time you guys ever played in Webster Hall, or am I?
No, so actually, that was our second
Yeah,
time.
second time.
So this is our third time here. The
Third
first time was with our friends who haven't seen in a long time, Paris and Simo.
Paris Usimo. Am I saying it right?
Paris and Simo?
Paris
They're
and
Who are
Yeah.
now,
Okay.
who are now
Yeah.
actually go by Prince Paris.
Wow.
So
But-
we did a whole tour with Paris and Simo, and Webster Hall. We were main support.
That was
and
a
then
fun show.
that was the first time we played here. The second time was with Midas on his tour, and now we're back here with Trivecta.
We're Trivecta, so third time's the freaking charm.
Yeah, I think
So,
so,
like,
that's gonna be great.
Which is
So,
great.
so was it like for each time? So it's like for each time you play somewhere like over and over again, you just kind of just want to be like bigger and better than the last.
I think what's funny is actually it worked out that way. I wouldn't say that it's always worked out that way, like city to city.
Yeah.
But the first time we played here, we were still doing a lot of house music, and the fact that we were a support act on that show, because we were doing some headlining touring at the time, we played like a tech house set, and this was back in like 2014.
That
15.
was I don't even know the
So
year.
we opened up for Paris and Simo, who were doing progressive house, and we played like a very techy, low kind of set, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely, it was a very dancey. And then the last set with Joe here,
Our set was at like 3:30 in the morning.
And I think it was a
It
certain
was
type of
so
set.
late, but it was so fun because like New York truly just never sleeps, and like the room is still so full.
Yeah.
At like 3:30 in the morning, people literally stayed.
I kind of wish we
Until
went
we were
harder
done.
at that
I
show.
know,
They were
because it
really
was
liking
like-
our stuff.
The
And then
energy was just
Tonight,
so
I think we're going like really big, like the biggest set that I think.
And I also like obviously I sing live. We try to incorporate like a live element to all of our sets,
Mm.
and I love having a stage where it's like an actual stage, not just like decks, because I just have the freedom to jump around and go mingle with the crowd more and just move a bit more.
Right.
More freedom up there.
That would be, and hopefully we can get more of that, like, that energy, and hopefully we can go even harder this time tonight, because again, a lot of the works, like, you can kind of really hear, like, a bit more of like a stronger bass in the musicality now, but also we still get a lot of soul, like, flowed through the music, and that much I truly do appreciate. And this kind of leads to this now. So, all the people that you like worked with and you collaborate with, like, are there any that kind of like really stick out? Because we mentioned Seven Lions, we mentioned Trivecta, like we mentioned a lot of Ophelia stuff, but even Midas as well, featured in his album as well. But you also have William Black, you also have Newport that recently came out, who I couldn't believe. Stars Like You, absolutely freaking incredible. So are there any like collaborations that really like was really like special to you, that type of thing? Like you really
I think the honest answer is they're both here tonight.
Yeah.
Trivecta and Midas.
Yeah, I mean honestly we've forged really great friendships with them, and when we've made music together it was such an easy process. The songs just kind of happened extremely naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, yeah, if I'm being honest, like those have been some of my favorite collabs, and look at the friendships that like they spark.
Yeah,
so.
and like that's like the beautiful thing about music is like you meet people and you come together on such like an intimate thing when you're writers and producers and creators, and like all of these artists that we work with, they're not just producers, they're like multi-talented, whether they play instruments or they write or they sing, and everyone does so many other aspects in the music space, I guess. I should say. But it's so nice because when the collaborations go so smoothly, you develop a friendship and there's like an intimacy there when you're working with other people.
That is amazing.
And yeah, you just really, I don't know, you stick together.
Yeah.
So is it also kind of easy to just say like no, that the work you've done with Midas and Trivecta is like the best work you've done so far? Because I feel like there's so much more that you guys are possibly maybe willing to give us out there in the future.
It's hard to kind of give, what's our favorite of our songs, because like I think that we love a lot, but I'm really proud of the unreleased stuff that we have to like probably the highest degree, right? When you say of our whole career, I think what we have in the pipeline, which you'll be lucky enough, I think, to hear tonight. So,
yeah, if you're gonna be in the crowd, we're playing a lot of our new songs.
I'll probably be on the side of the stage. That's usually where I probably would be in Webster Hall, because I get a chance like see you guys do your thing, but see the crowd reaction like to it, and I'll make sure I get a few good shots of it just to send you guys if possible, because the energy that Webster Hall gives, like we already talked about already, they deliver. They freaking deliver. I feel like this is a show that's almost sold out, nearly sold out, so we're going to be seeing a lot of people really savoring the power, the beauty, the presence that is Rico Mielia. I can hardly freaking wait to see this for the very first time ever.
Yes.
I wish I could have been there, like at least for the Midas tour, but sadly I couldn't. I kind of regret that a bit. But hey, I'm here now. I'm here with you guys, so let's savor that moment when that comes. And speaking of unreleased and all that stuff, like I usually would ask like, what's next for Rico Mielia, but if you want to tell us a little about that unreleased stuff, or you just want to save it for tonight, if you want to keep, silence is a valid option. If you want to keep quiet, then keep quiet if you want. But I'll just pass the mic on to you.
I would answer it this way. I think it's the most honest and true to ourselves stuff that we've ever done, and I think that it's just so naturally showing itself in the art, like that it's us, and I'm so proud and excited of it. I can't wait. I don't have too much more I can say about it other than like it's a lot bigger. I would say it's a lot bigger, and it's a bit more true to like us as people than some of the music we've been writing recently. Not all. There's definitely been little highlights, right, of things we put out, and I'd say like the Subway Joe and Sam definitely fit that category, but we've fallen a little away from ourselves.
I was gonna say, so like when you're doing collaborations over the years, you start to write for other people of like, what would this person like, and I feel like our new stuff, we kind of just threw that out the window of what would everybody else like, and like what do we like, and we kind of got back to our roots, and we stopped trying to write for other people and just got back to ourselves.
Or write for labels, or write for anything,
so
just as writing for us.
that's why I think this is the new stuff. Like there's gonna be an audience for it, and if people really like appreciate, it's coming from the heart, it's about like genuine experiences and everything like that. So.
So this kind of also speaks to, well, since you said this is going to be more of like you guys writing things that you like, things that really connect with you guys, So the stuff that was kind of self-released a bit, was it kind of like a chapter like in the past that you just want to turn the page over? Like, let's say for some of the self-released stuff, released like say in Proximity, like Goodbye, Remember Me, Something About You, like are those things that you know that you just want to like move on from, or is that still like a part of you a bit?
It's definitely still a part of us.
It's still a part of us, and I think that we're definitely proud of those songs. I think that all of those songs were a challenge, and like it was a style for us that we were pursuing, because like we, it's literally that type of music where making more pop friendly things was a challenge, and as a musician it was a welcome challenge, right? But I think that for us with those songs, as much as I do love them and I think that you love them, there's a part of us that's missing in them, and
I think we were also in a different like headspace back then. Like we, like you said, like we've been working together for like 10 years. So over those years, you go through phases where you're like, this is what I'm feeling. Like music is really about like like being in the moment and what you're going through, and it's an expression. So like what those songs were about is a very different headspace that we were in back in the day.
Yeah, and I think that now there's just been a bit more clarity. I think we've all went through a lot in the world in the past couple of years, and I think it's like really opened up space for us to reflect on ourselves and what we want and what we want to make. And I think that's like finally like saying that to ourselves, and then going in the studio and expressing that, we're getting the art that we want. So I'm very proud of the things that are in our unreleased folder.
That is amazing to hear, and I know again, no one really wants to talk about how it was like in the past, like 2020, that kind of thing with quarantine, all that jazz. But I do say to that moment in time, thank you, because if it wasn't for like you guys doing your stuff, like with the virtual stuff, like with Groove Cruise and with Infinite Skies, with Arm & Hammer, I would have not experienced or even knew the power and the beauty that is Rico and Mielia. So I thank the quarantine a bit for like introducing me to brand new artists out there who are doing their thing, like even though we can't do it live, but at least it was something. And I really do appreciate you guys blessing us with your music in that moment in time, because if it wasn't for those times, I would have not even known that you guys even existed. And I'm so happy to know now and dive in that rabbit hole of all the work you done in the past, and like really indulge myself in the power of Rico and Mielia. So I think it's me. I'm a person who really likes to see the negative. Oh my God! See the positive in the negative. I almost reversed it around. I was just saying, no, that's not me. I don't look at the negative and the positive. The positive and negative.
There you go.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm gonna edit that out. I am so sorry. So we're gonna just move on from that. It's just that I think those moments in time for like introducing me to you guys, that kind of thing. But also speaking of Groove Cruise a bit. Is there kind of a difference between playing like a show, especially on a ship, to like being on tour with an artist?
Yeah, definitely. I think that when we're on tour with, whether it's Joe or now we're here with Sam, I'm gonna say their artist names minus for Trivecta. That they're bringing their fans to these venues, and those people are very familiar with, whether it's obviously they're familiar with the headliner's music, but they might be familiar with our music, and if they're not, they're in that same family of sound. And I think that seeing those fans is the best. What's awesome though about Groove Cruise is a lot of times it's people who are completely unfamiliar with us as like a whole stage almost. Not the headliners totally, but you get this different vibe of just people who are just there to be like, I'm experiencing something, I don't know what I'm walking into, and like it presents so differently.
I also think like when you're on Groove Cruise, it's more of like a full-blown like 4 to 5 day experience. Like you're not just going to a venue for a couple hours and then going home. Like you are on the ship with artists and fans and music lovers, and some people are just there for a good time and some people are like there to see certain people, but it's a whole different world. Like once you step on that ship, it's like it's a completely different experience than it is being out on the streets of New York.
Understood. So let me guess, will you guys going group cruise for the fourth time this year. For the fourth time in your journey.
So
Well, it
this
would
will
be our
it'll actually be our third time. ever.
Third.
We missed this last group cruise.
Right, but the virtual one does not count.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
So
You're right.
because literally I got the evidence on deck. I have the evidence on deck. Virtual sail aways live.
Yes.
You are right.
Virtual
You're
sail
right,
aways
you're right.
live from 2020.
Okay.
Then we move on to freaking. I really sure remember this.
I'm looking at your
Group cruise,
screenshots.
January 20 and 24, 2022.
You're
Then
right.
we move on to group. Oh wait, I don't have it here, but I saw 3 posts of it. The 3
You're
posts
right.
in the
You're
recap.
right. So this
So
will be our
Fourth.
fourth time, and this is like the biggest ship yet.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know
gonna
that
be
we're
an
supposed to.
epic experience.
I don't know how much we're supposed to announce,
Oh.
but yeah, sure.
Well, if you know me, all I do is talk about group cruise. I literally love it. It was like the best thing that ever
Best thing ever.
happened to us. Like, it's just such an amazing experience. If you haven't been on it, like, you have to go on the ship at least
It's
once.
our favorite thing.
It's so much fun.
I wish
Such a great community.
I really hope that I can experience Power Group Cruise maybe during the year when you guys are the headliner at least, because I feel like that day
That would be
is
sick.
going to come. I mean,
One day.
this year if this will be your 4th time there. 5th time needs to be like you guys like next
Like our own
Trivecta,
stage.
next to your own stage, your like own
Yeah.
mainline stage
That
on
would
there.
be
Everyone
nice.
can experience it. I mean, you guys are like regulars now, starting to become regulars.
Yeah.
So. Why Groove Cruise? Why are you not giving them the space and attention they so definitely deserve?
Oh.
I mean,
Thank you.
I mean, again, like
Thank you so
there's, I mean, again, like you said, like everyone's there to like know, to like they have their own agendas. Like someone wants to see certain artists that they really do want to see very badly, like you, and then you have people who reserve just for the vibes. But again, I feel like it's all about really experiencing the new people out there, and make sure you support them. So because you guys were there before, and everyone else who's on the group cruise like are there before. I mean, that's why I look at all the names from top to bottom and really see and experience how incredible they all are. Because you guys were there, and now we just move our way on to you guys hopefully being the headliner in group cruise, the 5th one. Well, let's just work on the 4th one for now for 2023. I mean, the year's still young. We're in February 2023. So my final question here is this. Being good friends with Trivecta, are there any works or songs from him that you really enjoy?
Trivecta, do you mean Sam?
Whoa. You mean
Says
Mr.
who?
You mean Mr. Dopekin?
There's always stuff like floating between friends, right?
Wait,
There's
you know what
always
I
stuff.
love so much? Can you please tell the story about how you ran into Fagin, who was also a vocalist on Sam?
Okay, that's a good story
It's
to
the
tell,
weirdest
right?
story.
Who's the vocalist you said?
Okay, so Fagin, who
Oh, Fagin,
Leave
leave
it
it all
all
behind. Don't leave it all. Let's be honest, that song is absolutely incredible, but you add a bit of Nurko in there and I go ham. I
Wait, you
just
gotta
cried.
hear this story though. So go ahead, you have to tell the story.
You know,
It's so
as,
weird and so
as
funny.
most musicians, like we do some work on the side, and I do some stuff working at weddings, and
He
I
does photo.
yeah, and I was working at a wedding in Philly, which I'm not from Philly, but I was there, and I was like told to go check on this acoustic guitar singer who needed just like a quick mic check situation going on. So I walk in and there's this guy and he starts singing, and I'm like, man, this guy's voice is great. Like, who is this person? And I'm start thinking to myself, I'm like, that voice actually sounds kind
Familiar.
of familiar. and I'm like, I look at him and I go, and this is exactly what I said. I go, do you know Sam? And I didn't even say artist name, and he goes, Trivecta? And he's like, he goes, are you Rico? And I'm like, he's like, every day. And I'm like, oh, wait, that's me. And I was like, we were on an EP together. And then we literally FaceTimed Sam. We literally
I was like, you
FaceTimed
gotta
him.
be fucking kidding.
And also, let me just add this one little thing. He's not from Philly either. He's from Florida. So it's like, how the hell are we meeting in
Yeah,
Philly
someone from
at this
Jersey, someone
random
from
thing?
Florida, like met
There was no
in
connection.
Philly. Just like
No
such
connection.
a weird connection.
Such a weird connection, but amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing to hear, and it's
what
like,
makes
well,
it
I'm so
like
happy.
Rico.
Well, hopefully, Fagin,
So
if you see this, you have some incredible success in your career, Because trust me, wedding singing, although I know you're an amazing singer, you could do so much more than just being the wedding singer.
To be fair, they were his friend. They were his friend.
It was a friend.
It was a friend. I was gonna say, I thought he was a wedding singer. It's like, let's leave it to Adam Sandler,
No.
okay?
No, listen, I'm
he
pretty
like
famous
goes
for that.
Let's leave that to him. Fagin, yeah, I'm just saying, if you're thinking of doing that, leave that career behind. You deserve just to be on the main line with Trivecta and everyone else, because your voice stuff needs to be heard like through the wavelengths, through the radio, through Spotify, through SoundCloud, through Apple Music, through everything, because you are just that incredible. Thank you so much for all your incredible work and Leave It All Behind, and thank you, Rico Mielia, for such incredible works, for like blessings with your incredible duo. Incredible sound, incredible vocals ever since 2013. Again, I'm going to make sure I mark it down my calendar. December 20th, 2013 is that's the date that it kind of like all began for Rico Mielia.
Thanks for reminding me of that.
10 years later, it's going to be the 10-year anniversary of Rico Mielia, and I hopefully you guys can maybe start working on an anniversary celebration for this, because it's going to be one celebration I can hardly wait to experience and imagine. If possible, just keep it in mind, okay?
Yeah.
I'll remember. That'll be my
What should we do?
I would say what you guys should do is just like, maybe make like a melody of like all the work you've done so far, like, talk about the story of Rico Mielia, like how it kind of began, like what we're doing now, and like, say like, we were in this type of phase, this type of mentality when we did this. Like you mentioned as well, when we did proximity, you were in this type of mentality. We were kind of wanting to find this sound, but now we want to make this sound. This is how we were before, and this is how we are now. So really make a huge celebration like where we are and what we're going to do in the future. So like you said, the unreleased stuff is going to be more emotional, it's going to be more focused, it's going to be more of what you guys want. So again, thank you so much, Rico Mielia, for blessing us with your music, and I can hardly wait to hear what's going to come next. Thank you all so much for watching as well. Trivecta, the Way Back Up tour I think we're like halfway in, but part 2 is still going on, and each show is going to get bigger and better and better and better. Like today is Webster Hall, tomorrow's going to be the Avenue in Philadelphia, and then on and on and on and on and on. So make sure you get your tickets as well to these shows, because it's going to be absolutely incredible. This is Unreleased Jr., Rico Mielia signing out. Peace.
Bye.